So this is really an exceptionally exciting interview for me. It's 11:11 Central right now, 12:11 Eastern Standard Time, and I want to bring on an interview and chat with Miss Airplane Jane, as she's known on the Twitterverse. She has been a trader now for a few years and actually has been on the Real Life Trading program before. We have interviewed her and chatted with her before in the past. It was about a year and a half ago. Actually, might have been a little bit more. So I figured I'd bring her back on, have a second interview, figure out what she's been doing with trading, ask her more about her strategies, chat with her a little bit more. Miss Jane, are you able to hear us? Jane, how are you? How have you been?
I am great, thank you. I'm absolutely loving this market, loving it right now.
Yeah, yes. Why so? Are you more of a bearish day trader or bullish day trader?
I'll go with what the market takes me, but obviously, you know the saying, the elevator down and when it's going down and the staircase up. So it seems like it's a lot faster to make money on the way down.
Right.
But obviously I will go with the general consensus of the market.
Totally. So how do you find the general consensus of the market, Jane? What do you look for?
Well, I'm looking to see what the major indices are doing and tracking volume as well. A lot of what I've been doing, I've definitely changed and evolved from the last time that I was here with you, and learned just so much, you know, as a trader. Obviously, we have to start somewhere, and then as we go, we can perfect that. And just learning new little things all along the way. Like right now, American Airlines, I'm watching that. I've got some options in on that because I saw major volume, and then I'm just staying below the volume. Pretty easy, right? You know, I use Thinkorswim's Active Trader, which is like a volume heat map where you can see the actual volume that's been traded. So it's like, I know as long as it stays below 32, which had 248,000, it's a pretty good short right now. So that's a pretty good mental stop level to use. And there was also 124,000 that was traded at 32.03 and 243,000 traded at 32.10. So using those levels and then watching where the big guys are, because now, like, I can see Goldman Sachs is buying at 31.44. Originally, he was buying at 31.77. So it's following the big guys more now.
Yeah. I mean, so you're looking at volume, the heat maps on the Active Trader. Are you looking for share volume spikes or option volumes or both?
Looking more in the present day volume. I don't really actually use candlesticks that much anymore. I use the volume heat map because that's going to dictate the support and resistance of the candlesticks to me. So I will look at, you know, prior levels from the days before, but really looking at the volume right now because, you know, indicators are going to be lagging a lot more. Hold on 2 seconds. I just have to type something in. I can't type and talk.
It's a challenge. I'm with you.
Okay. All right. So really looking at, that's why I could never do a trading room trade and like be in it because I can't do both at the same time. That's something I'm not adept at. And then watching like the big levels on the indices as well and seeing prior support and resistance and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now.
I love it. So when you're saying like watching the broader markets, are you putting those up on a different screen or are you how are you monitoring them?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I have 5 screens going at once. So I've got one that's pretty much just like option chains that I check different option chains. And then I've got Thinkorswim where I've got the Active Trader and also level 2 going at the same time. So I can see where the big guys are as well as where the volume has been traded. So it's more being active. I'm still definitely day trading, doing a bit more swing trading overnight, but more day trading with the real volume from today, like, you know, trading Amazon put spread where it's a debit put spread that I had 15.40, 15.30, bought it at 30 today, and it's already, let me think, let's see, it's already up at 86. So just going with the big guys and following their action, and little risk, bigger reward.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Wow. Well, I mean, we really just kind of hopped into that, which is totally fine. That's how you and I are.
For sure.
Love the markets.
And then also I've started adding in watching the futures, not trading them, but watching them for ETF movements. So like traded natural gas today, traded degas on the nice move, got out a little early, but simply because I set up, trailing stops to go ahead and lock in the profits. So I'm not upset. Yes, you can always potentially make more, but green is good.
How'd you play degas? What time frame? Is that 5 minute, or you say you don't look at the candles? I mean, are you just purely looking at just the volume when you're trading something like that?
With degas, I was looking. Well, I know if you also go to equityclock.com, you can look at the natural gas seasonality, and you can see that price is pretty much going to drop until end of March. So it's going to be easier probably to trade degas because the general direction is probably going to be dropping until the end of March, or it will typically swing from March through October to the upside overall for natural gas prices. So looking at that and then seeing on the natural gas futures, when it's hitting the resistance for the day, to go ahead and enter there. I think I got in one position at, it was 77.80, and I don't know where it is now. Where is it? I got stopped out on that one because I put a $1 trailing stop when it was, I think I locked in $1.50 of profits on it.
Okay. And so that's an automatic trailing stop then, just $1.50 trailing it automatically.
Yeah, well, I watched it. I definitely watched it until I was nicely in the money.
Sure.
And then I went ahead and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and set a trailing stop. This is what the ATR is. So I'm going to do it a little bit bigger than the ATR so that I'm going to give it room basically to continue growing in profit.
That's a good takeaway. So using the ATR, average true range, to do a trailing stop and like an automatic trailing stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Useful.
That way, no matter what, and seeing where the big guys are also selling on it. Like if I go and look at it now, let me put it up. degas, they were selling it 94. Hold on, no. Let me look at it. They were selling at 85.49, and now they're at 86.23. So I definitely left profit on the table, but I'm okay. Like I know I can go back to it tomorrow and do the same thing.
Gotcha. So when you say they, like the big guys, big players, how do you know? Do we know who they are? Do we have any idea? Or are we just seeing the share size and just seeing where they're at?
You can see, there's a big seller at 82 that's going to provide resistance right now, but after that, up at 87.04 is the next biggest.
Gotcha. Beautiful. So DGAZ, this is a fun one to day trade too. Just DGAZ in general. Do you still focus on or trade gaps at all? Is that something that you're still in your repertoire?
Oh, I definitely do. That's what I create my watch list with, using trade ideas with their morning gappers, but also looking at the volume pre-market, because I've really seen, obviously if you see that it's up $2, but there's 2,000 or 5,000 shares of activity, then it's likely like a fake pop up to go ahead and sell it. So that people are going to go ahead and start taking profit, or the big guys could potentially be just propping it up to sell it to new buyers in hopes that they'll say, oh, hey, I'm going to buy it up at this price.
Gotcha. And so when you're looking at that volume, so Stephen was asking in the chat pane, is this purely the thinkorswim active trader? Is that so you're looking for these volume nodes, or how are you finding those?
Where is the chat so I can see it too? Sorry.
No worries at all. I think that, let's see. Hi.
I just see the one that we have, the high, and yep.
Just reset it. He sent it to all panelists. My apologies.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so Steven says, what volume are you looking at? Is it a special chart?
For volume on thinkorswim, I usually will look at the 5-minute chart just for entries, but I will back it out to 45 minutes and a daily. And looking specifically at the volume, it is from the active trader tab, which is part of the widgets if you have Thinkorswim.
Beautiful.
Does that help, Stephen? Do you have Thinkorswim?
I believe he does as well. I do as well. Active trader. I'll actually pull it up really quick. And you said as far as looking at the futures, when you're doing that, you're kind of comparing the price. Do you actually are you trading futures now, Jane?
No, I don't trade futures. I just watch it. Oh man, see, like look at NG now, and NG on the futures went down to 3.03 on the contracts, and so now I don't know where it is because I changed it back to American.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, where's the price? Yeah, so plenty. But there you go, 83. So I got out way early.
Hey, that's okay.
It's all good. I left a profit, right?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. What was over the last few months? What was the worst trade that you made, or at least the one that stands out to you over the last few months?
Well, I'm still perfecting my options, which is I didn't do options at all before. So perfecting my options strategy and just basically not letting it, not letting it decay against me. So doing more spreads. And like I was in a TVIX trade and I held it overnight and had a pretty nasty gap down against me. So, learning that sort of stuff because I wasn't ever trading TVIX before.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely a learning experience there.
TVIX. That one's a wild one.
Oh yeah. But like now with the market, when it's dropping, if I'd held it, I'd be in the money, but I got out because I didn't want, went ahead and move forward with the capital to put it into other earnings trades.
Sure. No, I can appreciate that. So when you're doing the earnings trades, are you playing, you mentioned debit spreads earlier. Is that kind of like still your focus with over earnings? Are you playing the debit spreads after earnings, before earnings?
Not really holding them through earnings. If I do, it'll be like a strangle way out of the money, rather than in the money and potentially losing there. But, more up to the day of and then after. So not over the actual earnings period.
Sure.
Of the announcement.
Okay. No, makes sense. Makes sense. So I'm going to bring a TOS screen over if that's okay, because I have just a lot of people asking about that because it's
for sure.
People always love learning new things, especially from you. You're such an energetic person. So if this is the active trader, where would we go to see what you're looking at?
Okay. Well, I would go to
here's NG. Yep.
Yeah, I would go to a regular chart instead of the futures. Oh, go to your charts.
Okay. So like right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can select active trader on the right on the tab, or put it on AAL because I'm actually watching AAL, so it'll be please. Okay, and then you see the active trader tab on the right.
Right here.
Yeah, click on that. Okay, so now you can see what I'm looking at basically. So you can see, okay, so there's that 239,000 that was traded at 32.10. So that's a great mental stop level without having to put in an actual stop, because you can see that that's going to be a very strong point with the number of volume that's traded there. So if it goes above, it's likely going to end up being a bullish end to the day. And if it stays below, it'll probably be a bearish end to the day. But what's interesting, if you pull out the volume to the right, if you go to the top like an Excel spreadsheet and you select the top of that column, okay, and you go on the right side and drag it to the right, it should bring up the volume at 32 even. Like I have, now mine's just disappeared, but yeah, 32, I have 127,000. You can't see if you go hold your mouse over the top of that next bar, next big bar down.
Next big bar down, this one right here?
No, that one, yeah. So you can see that's 101,000. So that I believe is 32. So you can see the different price levels, and then like 31.88 has 91,000. That's the biggest bar to the bottom.
Gotcha. Okay.
You
So
can see where the consolidation is, and you can say, okay, well, if it breaks to the upside of 32.10, it's going to be a breakout, basically, because you're breaking that resistance. Or if it breaks below 31.88, which is the lowest big volume bar for buying, that's going to be the support without having to even look at a candlestick.
yeah. So beautiful. So just really kind of digging down. I mean, because Active Trader also a very fun tab to trade with. If you when you start playing with it, I mean, there's so many things you can do right from here.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I don't even use it for the active trading part of it, but I use it for the volume heat map.
Just for the volume.
And the real reason why I did that was the first time I saw on it, I saw 1.5 million traded on Amazon at 1543.85, and I was like, wait a second, 1.5 million? Like, that's like billions of dollars. So I was like, okay, so 1543 is a really important level because there's all this volume that's been traded there. And I even followed up with Thinkorswim, and they're like, yeah, this is actually volume that has traded today. Now, at the end of the day, at 4 o'clock, it wipes it clean.
Right. Right.
And if you go to time level 2, please.
Yep.
So if you scroll, it's really weird. Are you on paper trading on it?
No.
No? That's really weird that you don't have the full level 2 like mine does. Weird, because I can see at 32.86 is a big seller, but you don't have that, which is weird.
Is it possibly, let's see, Falco says, are you subscribed to the level 2 data? I'm not. So that might be what it is.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that might be it. So that's probably why, because you can see it's at 32.86 is a big seller. That's the biggest seller right now.
Gotcha. Now, are those spots when you're looking at those, are those places where you also would just set up like a limit sell or a limit buy order and just say, hey, this is where I'm going to get, for example, I mean, this big volume spike up here, the 239,000, is that a spot that you would ever just go ahead and put a limit sell and go, okay, if it pops up to there, a lot of orders there, I'm just going to short there?
Well, you could definitely when trading with stock, but I'm doing a lot more options now. So I'll use that as a level to set a target. Especially one of the things I love from TradingView is I can be out at the gym. As you know, I'm a big gym person.
Yep.
And I can set it so, hey, if it hits this price, or I might even do 32.05, I get an alert on my phone, a text message that says, hey, this is what's going on. So I don't even have to be in front of the computer all the time.
I love it. And when you're trading through your phone, I mean, do you ever trade from your phone? I guess is a good question.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
at the gym, cranking out some vibes, crushing some weights.
That's it. I'm a multitasker, like you were saying earlier. I definitely do multitasking.
No, I can appreciate that. And what other brokers do you use for your trading?
IB as well. But being an American in Canada, so it's really tough to have brokerages because of the TAFTA laws. So it's pretty much like IB and Thinkorswim. Got it.
So just
Questrade, but Questrade, I'm not really a fan of.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone is. I've never heard very good things about Questrade.
Yeah.
No, so with your option trading, Jane, are you more right now buying, just like buying a debit spread, or are you doing credit spreads or any naked options at all?
No naked options. It's more debit spreads. Because I've been trading Amazon a lot, really following the big guys and that sort of stuff. And then SPY options too, and trading ETFs with capital and stuff like that. So it's minimal risk with the options, and then I trade more the ETFs in my 401k. Like today, Amazon was originally buying. The big buyers were at 16.16, then they went down to 16.08, and now they just moved down to 15.92. So I track it to see where they're going, and then if you're following the bigger guys and what they're doing, it makes it easier because they have the massive money, right? So just follow their direction.
So when you're taking the spread on Amazon, this debit spread, when do you exit for your profit? Do you just wait for it to go all the way in the money and kind of delta cap you, or do you get out for a specific level?
Well, no, I mean, I bought the 1540 puts and I sold the 1530 puts. So it was $30 risk to potentially make 1,000, right? So it's already up 100%. Yesterday I did the same thing. I bought it at 25 and I sold it down at the bottom down here for 105. When you see that bottom spike down.
Sure.
So
nice. So you're doing far out of the money in a position like that. That would be a bear put spread. So you're doing a far out of the money bear put spread.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. So being up 100%, are you going? When do you close it?
Well, this one I probably should have closed it, but we were talking.
My bad.
No worries. I'm still at profit, so it's not a big deal. And it could easily hit 1627 and can then come right back down.
Sure.
Because especially seeing where the bigger names are buying and they've dropped their buy price and they've lowered their sell price from 1668 to 1648, I know that they're looking to somewhat drive the price down, which they were doing the same thing yesterday. And in this downward trend, it seems like we're going back into a downward trend again, from like the bearish squeeze up, dead cat bounce of the indices, in my opinion, that they're getting back to what they were doing back in November and December, where they take it down, they drive it up, they bring it up to, a lower high, and then they sell it off again and bring it down and then bounce it up, lower high, sell it off, that sort of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's very interesting. Are you trading at all any credit options, or is it just purely debits right now?
Purely debit options right now. Mostly on Amazon. I've really tracked it and watched it and, know the levels daily where the big volume is. So I know that I can hold on to this, and I'll probably exit out later today on this one and potentially re-enter again tomorrow morning with a new one, because as the time decay, you can go closer to the strike price without, it's going to decay too much overnight probably, unless we have a major gap down. But I'll usually exit and then reposition with a smaller debit spread, if that makes sense. Put spread, so that it would be like maybe 500 potential gain instead of 1,000, but I'm going to go ahead and limit my risk overnight.
So when you're buying your expiration, how far do you go out? Is it always that week?
With Amazon for now, yes, it's this week, but like tomorrow, going into tomorrow, I could potentially look at next week because it's going to decay too quickly.
Got it. Question for you. What will you be presenting at the Modern Trader Summit, June 22nd, 2019?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to present, but as you are definitely a speaker there, so I'm really excited for you to be participating in it. And last year was an amazing success, and we had, we filled the room last year, and all the sponsors that came were like, this is amazing, this is awesome, and we can't wait to participate again next year. So I went ahead, set it up, and what my goal is to try to do it in different cities so we can bring local clientele from the city, as well as people that would like to travel and see new cities and just get away. But really, it's yourself. I have Chai Girl, she is simply an oils trader, so she trades commodities. Also Andrew Aziz, who is from out in Vancouver, and so I've got different people, Sean McLaughlin from Trade Ideas, and also working on a couple others that might have a couple issues getting to Canada. So I have to wait and see if they can actually travel up here. Gotcha. But really bringing together a group of positive traders that are really looking to help each other and help all the traders succeed, and bringing their own experience to the table. I think that's the best thing, is that everybody trades differently, and learning different techniques from different people can only help us.
That's the way I feel. I mean, because you're always going to get one thing from one person or two things from one person that just kind of helps you. Either sometimes it can just remind you of something you already knew. Sometimes it's teaching you something brand new. Sometimes it's going to give you a path that you're going to walk down, explore, practice, and that particular path will give you something new or something exciting to focus on and learn. So I'm totally with you.
Hold on 2 seconds. Let me mute. Hold on. You can hear I'm awesome. I also hang out in the Trade Ideas trading room. Hold on. Let me just close it.
No worries.
Okay. There we go. Done. All right.
Yes, but that was yeah, you're totally right. I mean, that's it's all about learning and putting yourself in an environment where you can learn. You have the ability to learn. People are there teaching things brand new. I like this picture because there's actually a trader who's here. The guy who was asking the question earlier about TOS. He's right in the middle of one of these pictures. It flashes by pretty quick, but right there. His name is Steve. So he's here.
Steve, yeah. Steve. And Andrew, I saw you were asking about a volume heat map in IB. I don't know. I really just use it on my mobile. So I don't know if there's a volume heat map there, to answer your question.
I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could always ask their customer service and see if there's a way to, now that you've seen it on Thinkorswim, to
track it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. So again, everyone, if you want to check out anything that Jane's doing on Twitter, she's always very responsive, very caring, asks great question, posts some very good charts. I always like going through your feed, Jane, to seeing what you're trading, because you did have a really good trade on Amazon. I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was good, and then today too has been good. I mean, you can't really complain with 100%, right?
Nope. No, you cannot. You cannot. What about?
It's testing. I also have the 4, the 8, the 15, and 21 EMAs on my charts, and it hasn't broken above the 8 EMA, so pretty much it's still in that downward trend. So I'm not upset.
What advice would you have for traders who are trading in Canada and going back and forth between U.S. and Canadian dollars? I mean, do you have any kind of thoughts on that, just with their trading accounts or with their deposits or withdrawals?
I just keep it easy, and that maybe if they have Thinkorswim, to open up a U.S. account, so that if you're going to withdraw it, just have a U.S. account potentially linked to your Canadian account, so you can just use the exchange rate immediately as you withdraw. Because I have a U.S. TD account that I had from when I was living in the States, because I am American, and so I just simply transfer it in there when I want to withdraw and just take it right out of the ATM, which gives me the best exchange rate. As far as depositing Canadian dollars right now, you're just at a loss.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing.
Profits.
Exactly. That's the thing is, like, guys, that's just it's that way right now. So there it is. It's a challenge.
Yeah, and for any Canadians that are in the room and you want to come to the summit, definitely buy your seats before February 1st, because the prices will be going up February 1st.
February 1st. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. There it is right there. Perfect. So it's right there. All right. At the hotel, and I love Montreal. How far do you live from Montreal?
I'm in Pierrefonds, which is about 25 minutes from downtown.
Okay, perfect.
So it's very easy, and it's an awesome, awesome city, and a lot of great stuff in downtown Montreal, and the most European city in North America.
Great time to trade. Great time to be there too. June.
Yeah, and look, you like that? Scroll down further. For those that don't have passports, how to get one.
Bam! It's like, come on, guys. She's thought of all of it. Man, that's so good. Again, I appreciate you reaching out to me. This was something that we chatted about a few weeks ago. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of that. That's gonna be really wonderful. I'm gonna put you on the spot and ask you a question.
Okay.
What do you have any preference of what you would like me to speak about in the summit?
No, whatever you feel like you would like to educate traders on. not too much bio about yourself, but really one topic that you feel like is crucial for traders to know about.
Okay.
Yeah. I went out to the Trade Ideas Summit out in California, and there was like JC Peretz from All Star Charts is amazing, and he talks about like the big picture and chart correlation of multiple charts, around the world, and how they're all correlated, and how really we were talking about that in October before the big move in the market came, and you could see that it was coming. And then there's also, I'm drawing a blank on his name, the anchored VWAP from, I forget his name.
Yeah, what is his name? I'm trying to remember. Shoot.
Anchored VWAP, Brian Shannon.
Yeah.
From Alpha Trends. Like, that's his big thing that he really trades by, and that's really, it's like his Bible for trading is putting the anchored VWAP on and doing longer term trades with that, which is awesome. Like, I never saw that before, and now that's actually available on Yahoo Finance online, so you can use that as a free tool online. So that's something cool to check out as well, and how he uses it. So it's really cool that everybody has their own niche, and being able to share that with other people so that they understand how you're really profiting and what you use the most to profit.
Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of the VWAP?
I use the VWAP a little bit, just looking at support and resistance, but I have it on the chart, but I don't use it to make or break a trade.
Right. Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. A lot of people, they do. And I keep saying, I mean, for example, on Amazon, it will eventually come back to the VWAP, but it's like, you're going to miss all this move because you're afraid that it's going to come back up and hit it, which it did.
Yeah.
And it came back up to it this morning, during the post market, and just kind of ran back down. But you can't just because it's away from the VWAP doesn't mean you can't take a trade.
For sure. No, definitely. I'd say I've started using the moving averages more, because you can see, what do you have? You have the 10 and the 20. Yeah. So you can see it really never went above the 20 yesterday. Mm-hmm. For a second, right before 12 o'clock, what is that? 5 minutes, for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It went above the 20 EMA. So you could have said, hey, look, this is a potential. If it breaks down below again, I could get in, and look at all that move to the downside. You had $50 to the downside.
Yeah, Amazon's amazing. I mean, because it's so volatile. Amazon. What about Google? Do you trade Google at all?
No, I don't really trade Google. I've been watching. Tesla is on my do not trade list.
Why is that?
Just because I've been burned with it, and with that's really, really volatile. But another one that's got great movement that I have traded is Chipotle, CMG.
Okay.
Because Chipotle is a lower float. So also knowing the lower float stocks that are higher value, which have the bigger ATR throughout the day. So you can see, I mean, this one, if you'd had that 20 in mind, you'd be out of it, right? You would have flipped your position probably. Right. So, but you can see the range for the day from 521 to 532, you got a nice $11 move.
When you're getting into your debit spreads, are you doing market orders, or how do you determine your entry price?
Well, on Thinkorswim, it will calculate the the bottom and the mid price, and I'll go in at the mid. Okay.
So when you select it, it automatically selects, kind of gives you the bid and the ask, the bottom and the top, and then the mid. You just kind of go with the mid and get filled there.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you ever get skipped getting filled, or does it happen rarely?
It happens rarely. It usually doesn't happen that much.
Gotcha. And are you trading in a personal account or a business account in TOS?
Personal.
Beautiful. Jane, so much wisdom, so much enthusiasm for the markets. Again, just want to say thank you for being here. I know you have a lot of things to do this afternoon. So just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your information. I truly appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you for having me on, and looking forward to the summit. Definitely. Yes. You guys can all come.
Yes. There will be a lot of people there. There's a lot of people that I work with and trade with in Montreal and Toronto, and I'm up in Montreal at least once a year. It's going to be a really, really fun time.
Very cool.
One last sales pitch. It's literally $99. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. And It's breakfast. If you go to the timeline,
Okay.
it's breakfast, lunch, cocktails, and you get to hear from amazing traders. It's like the value that the traders bring themselves is well worth it.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm with you. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Tell your husband I said hello. Have a wonderful day. Keep being amazing.
All right. Thanks, you too, Jeremy.
Yeah. See ya, Jane.
Bye.
All right, folks. There she is. Second time. I think the last time I interviewed her, I'll find out exactly actually right now. I should have probably known that beforehand, but it was definitely sometime at least 2017, 2016. I think it was 2016. Airplane, Jane, real life trading. Let's just see. Yep, 2 years ago, almost to the day, I think. I'm going to just pull it up, click on this really quick. Let's see where this was. December 19, 2016. That was it. So anyway, another great interview, another good lessons, learned some new things about the volume and the active trader and TOS. Very useful, very helpful. Thank you also for your questions, Jay and Stephen and Robert, Andrew, and everyone else who was here. We still have another good solid hour and 15 minutes of trading together, just looking through some stuff, checking things out, trying to track down if we can find anything else to trade. What is fun about Tesla right now, Falco, did you get in on that rollover? This is a sad one to miss, that breakdown right there with a stop right about there. That was a really pretty move. Corey was posting that he missed that on Tesla. Bring this guy over here. Bring this guy over here. Delete this guy right there. All right. Move this over here. Just getting that back. Okay. And as far as the recording, I guess I'll just turn off the recording. For those who are listening, thanks so much for being here. You're amazing. We're going to go hop back into the markets for about another hour and 15 minutes, look over some stuff, see if we can find another trade, talk about some trade setups, both day trades and swing trades. So for those who are listening, thank you so much. Would love to see you if you want to hop over to the Modern Trader Summit. Second one, well, one was last year was in Orlando, which I had the opportunity to be a part of, and doing another one June 22nd, 2019. Fired up. It's going to be sweet. All right. Love y'all.